The largest science museum in the Western Hemisphere is located in Chicago. It sits 7 miles south of downtown. The display area covers 400,000 square feet and contains well over 35,000 artifacts. Exhibits include a German submarine, a Boeing 727, and the command module of Apollo 8. Opened in 1933, this full-size exhibit has demonstrated for generations how coal is mined. A must-see is the giant OmniMax Theater. The museum also offers limited-time special exhibits. The Lego exhibit was very popular. The latest features authentic items from James Bond movies. Every year since 1942, the museum hosts a very special exhibit, Christmas Around the World. The main tree is 4 stories high and is surrounded by more than 50 trees representing the holiday traditions from cultures around the globe. The first tree was decorated to represent our allies fighting in World War II. It has now become a yearly tradition. All ornaments are handmade by people from the various nations. They spend months creating them and many hours lovingly placing them around the trees. For many, Christmas around the world has become a regular holiday visit. Just off the main rotunda is an exhibit that explores weather. Like many exhibits, it features interactive displays. After stepping into a man-made tornado, visitors can experience lightning produced by a Tesla coil mounted in the ceiling. Nikola Tesla was an inventor. His work on electricity led to an invention that amazes guests every half hour. From a replica of the first aircraft to a modern-day jetliner, this gallery features over 100 years of transportation. Many ask, how did you get a Boeing 727 into the museum? In 1999, there was a small airport east of the city. Flown with remarkable skill, the 727 jet landed on a very short runway and was floated 7 miles south to a beach by the museum. It was then towed across Lakeshore Drive, partially disassembled, and moved into its display area. Visitors get a close-up view of the engines and the interior. Walls have been removed to reveal the skeleton frame. Second and first class sections have been restored, as has the cockpit. Trains played a major role in the history of transportation, and many are on display. This locomotive is authentic. In 1893, it reached a speed of 112.5 miles per hour. Just below the 727 is a massive model train layout. It contains 1,400 feet of track and 20 operating trains. It replaces the original that opened in 1941. The model covers 3,500 square feet. A highlight is a scale model of downtown Chicago. There is no lack of detail. The display also features many aspects of American landscapes. The layout transforms to evening with the Space Needle in Seattle, the small Chicago neighborhood, and the city. This Pioneer Zephyr is authentic from 1934. It ran from Chicago to Denver in 13 hours. The stainless steel train has been restored to its original condition. The display gives a sense of speed as we explore the interior. The diesel-electric engine produced 660 horsepower. Mail was sorted as the train moved between towns. The coach section offered leather seats. First class had soft fabric seats and an observation lounge. The year was 1893. Chicago was hosting the World's Fair. It was at this fair that the building that now houses the museum was constructed. It housed the Palace of Fine Arts. After the fair closed, it was left to decay. However, since the building was so well constructed, it was decided to restore it in 1926. It officially reopened in 1933 and continues to grow to this day. Known as yesterday's Main Street, this recreation of early Chicago opened in 1943. It even includes a Nickelodeon featuring films of the era. Colleen Moore was a star of silent films. Besides her career in film, she also built a spectacular dollhouse. She assembled film industry artists to construct miniature furnishings with unmatched attention to detail. The house went on tour to raise funds for children's charities. It has been at the museum since 1949. The Fairy Castle is seen by 1.5 million visitors each year. The castle contains over 1,500 miniatures. The jewels are carefully guarded above the chapel. The grand staircase has no railing since fairies can fly. The artistry of the miniatures is clear in the music room. The bedroom is fit for a princess. The kitchen is right next to the dining hall. The Henry Crown Space Center includes the original Mercury Aurora 7 capsule and the Apollo 8 command module. Also featured is the lunar module used for training the astronauts. A recent addition is this authentic SpaceX Dragon and visual display. The Battle of the Atlantic was a significant period of World War II and has its own special section in the museum. Captured during this period was the German submarine U-505. It has been on display since 1954. During the war, convoys with supplies for Europe were hunted down and sunk by German subs. An all-out campaign was launched to find and destroy these submarines. One sub, the U-505, was actually captured. Upon entering the boat, the U.S. Navy discovered a German coding device, the Enigma machine. This top-secret device was used to send encrypted messages to the German military. Finding this enabled the Allies to crack the German code. The sub was towed across the Atlantic, and after the war, it was towed to Chicago. It arrived at a beach near the museum and was moved across Lakeshore Drive. The U-505 sat outside the museum until 2004. Over the years, the Chicago weather was beginning to damage the boat, so it was moved to a newly built underground display. The exhibit allows visitors to get up close to the sub. The aft torpedoes are clearly visible, as are the huge rudders and propellers. Tours of the interior are also available. The cramped quarters can be seen in these period photographs. The sub was powered by 18 supercharged cylinders. The depth was controlled by 2 interlocked wheels and ballast tanks. When underwater, it was powered by electric motors and batteries mounted under the floor. Torpedo tubes and the chart room can be viewed. The ship was divided by several watertight bulkheads to control possible flooding. The crew of 58 were kept busy manning the sheer number of controls. Across from the submarine is the display area. This shows the officer's cabin while at sea. The galley had room for just one cook. Interactive computers allow guests to try their hands at being a U-boat captain. This Enigma machine, captured with the U-505, was capable of over 150 trillion combinations. Since its opening in 1933, the museum has welcomed almost 200 million guests. Allow a full day to explore the largest science museum in the Western Hemisphere.